All right, welcome to JCCR Racing. This is Gran Turismo 7. It's GT7 sim racing. It's supposed to be sim racing. It's supposed to be not too arcadey, but this has been a dose of Call of Duty Racer. And it's been an absolute war zone on the racetracks. And I'd say, save the women, save the children from this chaos, carnage, and absolute damage fest. And to do so, we've got to take the GTR, the Nissan GTR. So we're taking off from where we were last night. Yes, back on the grind. Ricky Rez Racer. Again, thank you so much I salute you. Thanks for supporting the channel. Everyone who subscribes, huge supporter. Anyone who becomes a member, also a huge way to support. But Ricky, you went over the top with that very generous, very, very generous gifting us some fun. So thank you so much. So tonight, this is like the Titanic sinking. This is horrific. So let's save the women, save the children, and try to have a clean race. But we're kind of taking the Titanic of cars here. We're taking a big boat. The Nissan GTR is awfully hard to knock off the track. And I am just getting into the live chat so I don't miss anything here. Going to come in as Johnny's Car Care and Reviews, the sister channel or brother channel to this, where we review real-world cars, where we get down to business and review those real cars. And we're long-term testing our 2017 Shelby GT350 with its incredible flat-plane crank V8, just like the Ferrari 458. And that means you've got a red line starting at 8,250 RPM, revolutions per minute, and it is absolutely insane. If you ever get a test drive in one, whether you drive it yourself, you hear it drive by, it is incredible. My friend, a very good acquaintance, had a Ferrari 458 for about a year, and he just recently sold it, and that was pretty darn incredible too. What a looker. So we're going to be getting to the races tonight, and what a difference. Monday night, day one chaos. We started in 15th, and were able to pick up a 5th. Then we did pretty poorly, and then we picked up, I think it was a 7th or an 8th. Here we are, or a 6th to an 8th, a 6th. But here we are, so much faster because we couldn't get below a 153.9 in the Nissan GTR. Within, I think it was the second or third lap, we picked up this, what is it, a 151 something, 151.9. And that's starting us off in second place. No, Super Doofus Tom, he sold that 458 for a good bit of money. But at the same time, he also bought near the peaks of the COVID crazed high prices and then sold now. So I don't think he made any money. He might have lost a little money because he didn't want to get into it too much, into the price. So normally that usually means it hurts a little. I know for my Lightning, I bought my Ford F-150 Lightning Lariat at $112,000. Prices at Tesla went down by 10 grand, Ford followed, and then just depreciation. Electric cars went from the vehicle that depreciates the least, the category of vehicle that depreciates the least, to the category of vehicle that depreciates the most. So $37,000 for a quick 15-month ownership. It was the most ridiculous expense I've had in my lifetime, and I will not be doing that again. But my Ford F-150 Tremor I owned for 1 year and got money back when trading it in. So let's get into the racing here. Something about behind me. What a distraction when people write words on the back of their cars. Now I'm being very careful not to push. Not leaving me a whole lot of room, but I was very careful there. Well on the inside and up on the curb. Oh, getting a little corner panel hits. Already some damage and chaos. Oh, I cooked it. But thankfully, the Nissan is good in the dirt, and we get hit again. These people are trying to do the corner panel takeoff, and it's not working for them because this is the Titanic of cars. It's the big boat. It's sinkable, but it'll take a whole lot of questionable choices to sink this thing. So briefly in first, We're still eyeing first, still very possible. Good to have you in, Tom. Super Doofus, don't forget, folks, check out Super Doofus's channel. Give him a good old subscribe. And if you subscribe and give us a thumbs up to our channel, that really does help this small family business. Working hard to get to 1,000 subscribers. And, oh, okay. I'm not sure, maybe I'm not used to the Skyline? Sorry, Skyline, my goodness, that makes me sound old. Not used to the Nissan GTR. So that might have been slide out on my end, my fault, or it could just be that we got hit again. But the Nissan is fantastic. Highly recommend you all try it out. Well worth the time invested, and easy to get the hang of. Oh, I plowed through there. That was a greedy, not so kind move. I do expect to get hit back off that. I didn't punt anyone, but I traded paint. I tried to take the inside, and he was not having it. He went for his regular line, so we did make contact there. Oh, there we go, like that, but with a much lower speed. Seems like he almost seems like he expected me to turn in, and I didn't, and he just went right through. So he took himself out there. My goodness, we would have been spun out in most other cars. 911, very much so. The Ferrari, absolutely. Didn't do any practice laps, and just one night really does make a difference. Highly recommend you get your practice laps in. Well, I can't go anywhere else. That car, wow, the Peugeot was actually able to take us off track. That was a good enough hit to take us off. Yeah, he was not only not leaving us any space, he sandbagged us there into the mountain. But the race is not over. This has been ridiculous. So I didn't get the proper rotation because I was in too high of a gear, so I will call out all the mistakes I make to help remind you so that they become sort of habit for you all, so you think, oh, I remember when Johnny made that mistake. So I will call out my mistakes. If you're not in the right gear, you probably won't get the needed rotation. Doc Lobo on the side writing, what a joke. And yes, this has been a very violent race. Not much racing going on, lots of arcade Call of Duty bashing. But we still have time. We can definitely pick up a few spots now that we actually have a bit of space. Cars behind us a ways back. Cars ahead of us right up there. And they're probably going to continue to bash, so I'm actually happier being back here for the moment. Gonna need to catch that apex though. Earlier braking is required. You can coast through here, then brake in this section. Second, and then back on the throttle. Two, I think I need a little more trail braking. I think I'm going to need to kick it up to 4. Really get this course has a lot of trail brake. It's all about braking towards the apex. All right, 3.8 seconds. I'm not catching up to that pack. Oh, 3.3. .3, so someone up there at the front of the pack has enough distance to actually get a good, decent time in, so that's good to see. All right, got the hang of the track again, got the hang of the car. Time for a fast lap. All right, so braking at the 300. closing up the gap. Oh, it's great to have you in the chat, Tom. Are you on your way home in the vehicle as we speak, or have you already made it home? There, that's how we need to take that corner from lap 1. And people wouldn't have maybe had a chance to come and hit us, but as you saw, the Volkswagen, other cars were really dive bombing it. Big mistake made there, not enough braking, too high of a gear, so proper rotation not achieved. Ricky Rez Racer, that is kind. I miraculously picked up a 151, which you'd think it's maybe fast enough to be a B, but no, it puts me at the top of the C class for this week's race. Now I just have to actually apply, get enough high-ranked races, and not get booted out. And that's why I'm in the GTR. It's to not get booted out. Ricky, you must be in the A League by now. I've been racing pretty consistently since December 2024, so not yet a year. I think a full year's experience is what I'm going to need to get into the B. I think we'll be strolling to the B by December 2025. It's just going to be about acquiring the intel, the intelligence, the information, and then applying the information. All right, so 2, and then at the marker, that's when I can accelerate. So we got the markers. I just have to listen to the game markers, be in a low enough gear as, you know, the game, but normally you'd have a pit crew in your ear. You'd have someone whispering to remind you. Even rally racers, they actually have someone sitting right beside them telling them the next turn what gear to be in. Way too early getting down in the second. A little too fast through there. Oh no! Oh jeez. What is this nonsense? What is this wild view? This is how everyone races. It's easier. You really get to see that brake indicator. You really get to tell when you're sliding, over rotating. Finish up, and then we'll get out of this non-sim racing view that every sim racer uses. Yeah, they're brake, flashing in the screen. So, and even just, you can really tell when you're going too fast. You really know exactly where your wheels are. But then again, this is very much like Superman flying through the track. I am morally opposed to it. Ethical objection. Throwing out an objection to this race view. And let's see, Super Doofus. What? Let's catch the end of that comment. You've seen a lot more cockpit drivers lately. Maybe I'm having a positive influence. Maybe my whining is for something. So that is fantastic news. Super Doofus. Love that you signed up. You got my Porsche 911 in the background. And when you've been a member for longer, there'll be different photos that get unlocked. And yes, the quality of the car does go up. You will unlock a better looking car than that 911, but that is a smart. The Porsche 911 996 generation is very, very smart money. Let's compare. TFL, some of the best auto journalists that we've had in decades. I'd say for the last 50 years, they're in the top 10. And they bought the desirable 911. And the desirable 911 is the generation right before the 996, and it bounces all over. I think 993 is later than the one before. is it 991? Anyways, they got the 90s Porsche, the one that most people have in their head when they think of a Porsche 911. But just on their convertible top and a few little things, they spent like 20 grand on the car. Whereas I also have the same convertible top problem. The hydraulic cylinder is gone, one blew, so I'm doing the smart money and just changing them both and having them rebuilt at the same time. But I had them sent to a shop in California, and as such, they're only $350 each to have rebuilt. But even if I didn't have them rebuilt and I bought them through Pelican Parts, I don't know about 15 to 1700 per unit. And they've had them break twice, so like they've replaced 4, you could say. They've bought 4 of these. But still, they spent basically $20,000 on that top. Whereas my top, I'm going to walk away. My garage isn't like a Porsche certified dealer, but they can get one. So they're probably just going to rent the machine or, call in a favor. And it's going to walk away at about $1,100 or $1,200. That's a lot better than $20,000. And the 996, it would be like 17, 18,000 US instead of they've probably figured they got a steal of a deal at 35,000 US, but high mileage. But then they put 20 grand into it. So the 996 is an incredibly smart choice. Let's see, Melon Lord. Maybe a dirty win here. Sandcastle, great work. Blink, incredible work. Super clean race. Barry R, good work, man. BBR, legend. Maybe a shame on you situation, but then again, I shouldn't talk. I probably went down. Where am I here? Where did I finish? Did I finish? I finished in 7th, and my safety rating went up. Fantastic. That's the goal, folks. Clean, safe, smart driving. It's the way to be. It is the way. Safe, clean, safe, smart driving is the way. Let's make it happen. Now, I'm still going to stick to the GTR. It is the Titanic. I did make some major mistakes, but almost all the attacks were unsuccessful from the part of our, normally I'd say we're kind of all racing on a track together, but those were opponents. Not even frenemies. They're just driving out like Call of Duty enemies. All right, let's check this out. My goodness. 3rd place, YT Seba. Great job. Lead Pencil Hazel was at the top. Great job, man. JCCR West, Ray GR3. Incredible times. Good job, folks. World's fastest here with video. 148.79. Oh, very cool. And the Viper is up there. Very cool. I'm happy the Vipers made it up there. I'm happy to see more than just one car, the same one car for the top 20. So they balanced that part really well this week. But GT7 hasn't done, and it's kind of making me think GT7 is... So this is also a ridiculous view, because only teenagers from the early 2000s would ride on hoods. What a bunch of dumbasses. And here you've got I'm following the car but not driving the car. This is the view, folks. Let's get back into our regular view. Let's practice out with a different brake balance and see how this helps. Now I'm hoping with +4 I'll have better trail braking towards when I brake and turn at the same time. So I'm freeing up the front wheels to steer instead of clamp down on the brakes. And I also hope I just get a little bit better overall rotation. Let's try it out here at the 300. Not bad, not bad. Not noticing a huge difference with +2. But I am noticing I wasn't glued to the car on turn 1 the way I was last time when I got the 151. Let's see if I can be faster at the other parts, other sections of the race. Okay, the GTR is got plenty of torque in the low end. I'm going to have to shift up. We'll all have to shift up when coming out of a lot of these turns. Not the same turning as the Ferrari at all. not on this track, not as glued when you catch the rocks. Let's see if in +2, let me know what brake balance you're running here. I'm just finding I'm not getting very little to no turn in while slightly on the brake pedal. So that's not something I like very much. Finding the right balance for your drive style is oh so important. And I'm a late breaker, not a late bloomer, but a late breaker. So running 5 is going to be a wee bit dangerous for this late braking boy. I am a late braking boy. There we go, better handling of the gears. Much smoother through the turns when we handle those gears better. Can't full throttle it through there. That was a mistake I was making. Need second to rotate through there and be at the right point for acceleration. Alright, so GTR is just a little weak on that corner compared to the 458 or the 911. Need to adjust. Super doofus, Tom. Thank you so much for working on the league. Very cool to have that you created the Sim League Pro. Folks, check out the Sim League Pro. Sign up. Get some races in. I just feel like the car, I don't know what's going on. The GTR, I'm having issues to get this thing to just get through the darn turns. What am I doing wrong? Let me know, folks. I'm gonna figure it out on my own eventually, but it'll be a lot faster if you just tell me why I'm sucking so hard getting through those turns. I feel like I just can't stick it. Oh, Super Doofus Tom, thanks so much for saying that the cockpit view was something that got you interested in this channel originally. I also, when I watch races, I also like to kind of feel like I'm a bit like a passenger in the vehicle. I know there's blind spots, but I also know that I feel it's like the honest sim racing perspective. Sim racing, simulation racing, not arcade racing. Arcade racing, all the views are acceptable. And cheat codes and punting people and taking jumps and doing spiral barrel rolls, whatever it may be. 360 burnouts, Need for Speed is for that. Or Call of Duty, running through the woods in the Warzone map. Pogo Clown 4, oh my goodness, I will try to avoid Pogo Clown 7. And Rocket Crash. Even the names would suggest that we're maybe in for a bit of a brutal Royal Rumble. Let's hope not. Let me know about the brake balance, what you all think, folks. Tried 3. It's a compromise between 2 and 4. Might have gotten that fast time at 0, so maybe that's why I'm finding the GTR so much different than my fast qualifying just from last night. Here we go, good before we got hard on the pedal, we shifted up, not having excess amount of torque, throwing us all over the place. 3, I don't feel like I'm sliding through there any. Gotta kind of put on the big boy pants there and let go of the brake pedal and coast through, because I'm finding the GTR's trail braking to not be great. I'd say that's its weakness. If I try to trail brake a little bit too much, I just go straight and miss the turn altogether. Even on 4, And then on 4, of course, as you go up in brake balance, you're braking less with the front wheels. That means you're taking longer to slow down. A greater distance must be covered in order to get down to the correct same speed. So I'll rely a little bit more on engine braking and earlier braking. At least we're not making any of the monumental mistakes we made last race. So we got a decent chance at if we can keep the car behind us. They're awfully close. Got a decent chance of either staying in second or getting punted to last. Let's see how this turns out. Either way, punt that like button. Give us a subscribe if you haven't already done so. And come race with us. Let's learn and grow together. Alright, got to keep an eye when you're got someone behind you at 0.3 seconds behind. That means they're in punting position. Let go, hope for the best. And yes, that turned out quite well. That'll gain us some speed on the car behind. Coasting can be awfully good, but we got to get to the right gear for that rotation. And now we got to race because we weren't as fast on that last turn. Keeping it in second to get the rotation, but making sure I'm at the very top of second. We got some nice rotation through there. We're helping to widen up that gap. Making sure I avoid the penalty. I think if we touch those orange cones, we'll pick up a 0.5 penalty. 1.4, we are growing the time and distance with the vehicles behind us, meaning we can start having hot laps using the full track. The track's ours now. The track's ours to see if we can close that gap on that very fast American, Mr. A-Rock. That's not the fastest way around turn 1, and that will cause us to lose a bit of that advantage that we had. I wonder if he got tempted to go for the spear us into another stratosphere, or at least into the ocean, off the cliff. Take a little bit of the apex there, the sandy apex here. Give a little jiggle to the throttle pedal. Hoping to get a little rotation out of this car. Oh, that's right. We sponsored our back window. Nothing like sponsoring so hard you can't see out your rear window. At least we still got the front window. Sponsored by the JCCR racing team. .5, almost 1.6 second lead on third, but a 4.7. First is fast. It's going to be very difficult to catch up to. He's consistently laying down laps. Like he's laying down some serious pipe after 2 cups of coffee. Also known as the pre-work home workout. The coffee cleanse. Huge improvements on the turn. That is basically the line we need and want to be taking. I don't know why I was having so much trouble controlling the GTR before, but I gotta remember, brake balance 3 is just pure perfection. Also, in the options, you can control how your pedals behave. And as I'm not sure if you've noticed, well, you can't see it, but when I do braking at what is a quarter of the space, it's always beyond half in the game. So I need to kind of put a dead zone on that pedal. So for the first 10 or 20% has essentially no braking, since it's so sensitive once I get into it. Yes, now sponsored by Super Doofus. Darn, Tom, you're right. I am. Well, I said I'm sponsored by the JCCR racing team, and you are a very important part of the JCCR racing team. So I was accurate, but not specific. Truthful, but general. But if I'm to be truthful and specific, we could Venn diagram this. But to be truthful and specific, clearly sponsored by Super Doofus Tom. Don't forget, folks, he's got not just great racing skill, it's also entertaining and fun to watch. So check out his channel, give him a subscribe. If you want to help your racers out before going to bed, if you're not, if you're not paying by the gigabyte before going to bed, it really helps us out if you just throw on a playlist, or you go to our channels directly and you put it on a video so that it keeps playing videos. I have a feeling I could get punted at any moment. Someone caught up. Someone's doing a great job driving behind us. Ooh, 0.4. Wow, what a monumental catch-up. They trimmed a second. That's great. Good for them. Pressure's on. Got to get that rotation. This is my slow section, but if I can survive to the last 3 turns, should be able to nail it and survive and hold this second place. We need it. We need to stay in the C League and slowly move up to the B, because the goal of the channel is to go from E as an actual, real, no experience E driver. Oh, shucks. Usually I'm pretty quick through there, all the way to the A class. At least the B. But the dream is the A. Maybe the realistic goal is the B class. Now he's going to have the advantage of being behind us and catching the drift. Woo! We did a thing! Yes, Tom, thanks for being here for that. Ricky, Res Racer, salute, boys. Thanks for being down here in, well, we can't see because the lighting is too poor at the moment, but we're in the buddy basement. We got Mario down there. We got the Mario Karts, the old Thrustmaster T150, back when I had a PS4 and I drove Gran Turismo Sport for, I don't know, not that many hours. Never got beyond the E speed, but here we go. We're going to be covering all the tricks, the craft, to go from being an E driver with no racecraft intelligence to clearly to get to an A or a B. It's not just by pure luck, it's not by muscle memory, it's by applying consistent techniques, learning and growing. And that's what we do here at JCCR Racing. So give us a subscribe, follow us along as we go from the E class to one day the A class, but quite possibly the B class this year. But there we go, we got a clean race, second, and that feels darn good. Let's clip that because I'm going to be out of town. Toronto Lincoln event, well, Niagara-on-the-Lake for the next day. I'll be back Friday. So I'll put out these videos here. Last 15 minutes, not last 15 seconds. There we go. And it's 10. Got time for another race. Let's push the luck and see if we can get another top 3. What I like to call, or what we pretty much everyone I believe calls the podium finishes. The goal is to at least be mid-grid, so 8th and up, because 9th place and worse, we're getting kicked down towards the D class. 8th and up, we're staying in the C class, and definitely podium positions help us move a lot faster to the B class. So let's try to pick another one of these up in the Japanese tank known as the Nissan GTR. And if you want a German tank, a great one is the AMG. The Viper's pretty solid too. I'd say that's your choice for an American tank. Those would be the cars, and the BMW. Those are the cars I suggest for not getting pushed around. What was that? And the Toyota Supra was surprising. Someone came and gave us a rear corner attack to spin us out, and they hit us, and they got thrown off the track. It's like almost like the bodywork on the Toyota Supra. You wouldn't expect it to be a tank, and it doesn't look like a tank. It's not a tank. It just must have body panels made out of very elastic rubber, because the car got just bounced off. So let's see here. Qualifying time. Let's enter the race and see what we can pull off following, and so key, follow the world pros. But you need to set up your settings for Ghost. This is how you get her done. Have the Ghost reset position every section of the race so you don't just completely lose them. So you could have the car 2 seconds ahead of you. You're going to do that if you think you're going to be faster than the car you're following, but at 0.8, they'll essentially almost always be ahead of us. A special shout out to Lead Pencil here with that incredible time. DSR Sim GTY, YouTube, Seba13, Cosmic Man, RA Porsche GT, JCCR, MGB. Awesome, mate. Thanks for being part of the team. This nickname has been deleted. JCCR West, CTR, JCCR J Rizzo, Ray GR3, and Ricky Rez Racer. And I will generally start calling out all the cars up to my car and one below. So if you want to get called out, you'll just have to get a faster time than me. That's how you get the shout out. And of course, there'll always be shout outs for our members making all of this possible. Because this way I can say, no, honey, I'm not playing video games. I'm going to work. And the wife can't complain if I'm going to work, It's running a business here. Ooh, the steering wheel is hard to turn one hand. That was a bit of work there. Slow acceleration, you really got to be in the peak bandwidth, the proper bandwidth here. Got those little dots down there. When we're off the dot, more chance of spinning out if we're still on the accelerator or the brakes. At the 300. Oh, actually stuck close-ish. So have a chance if we can do the rest of the race like that. And who knows, maybe we can bring down this 151. Certainly going to try. Ooh, lost time there by staying in gear, peeking out the gear. Again, that's costing me time and causing that gap to grow faster than need be. So you can see we're getting no acceleration because the steering wheel was turned too much. Even though our foot is to the floor, pedal to the metal, you got that steering wheel turned too much, you're not going anywhere. There, we got stuck in the rain gutter. That's going to cost us. Probably, we're definitely not going to beat the 151.8. It probably cost us that because I think we're on track. And we won't have time for another hot lap, but at least we know that we've still time to drop on that 151.8. I'd say we're doing very close to the 151.8. Good to know, overcooking that turn does not make us any faster. We have the proof right there with our own Ghost. So smooth is fast. Subnubis, good luck in their shower. Don't fall in. Take out these marshmallows. I think as a driver, I need a cold shower to cool off my hectic, hot-headed driving, braking too late. Yeah, there again, I was going to overcook that pretty hard. So we can't overcook and then just expect to brake all the way through when we're heavy on the brake pedal. Clark here in the race saying, "May the Stig be with you." Good, very nice. Well said. And we're going to be starting off in first with our lap time, so that's interesting. We got Squally behind us in a 4C. That thing is fast through the turns. A 911. The Huracan. Let's see if he Huracan or Huracant. We got SGPQ Budahadro. American racer. Clark down there with the big old Beetle. I've been pushed around by those Beetles so much, it's causing me PTSD. We've got the JG003. Very cool. And Tumtac. Okay, so that's hopefully we'll be racing with these top 8. Hopefully we won't be racing with the bottom 8. Good luck, folks. Try to throw out some positivity in there, wishing people a happy race, a good race, but also kind of reminding them, hey, I'll do my best. Let's have a clean race. All right, let's hope this is going to be a clean race, but if it's a dirty one, we got the right car for it. This thing does not get pushed around very much. Super Doofus Tom, thank you. I appreciate the good luck and the comment on my looks. I know GLHF stands for good luck, handsome friend. Thanks, buddy. Kindness is free, and you're sharing, dishing out that free kindness. And in the world, generally, the more positive you are, the kinder you are, better life you're gonna live. Things aren't gonna be as tough to get through. Whew. All right, there we go. 3 for the brake balance. Radar. Oh, such a great need to be on. And I'm going to be flying out to Toronto and flying back in. So I should have time, and the ride to the airport, I should have time for Johnny's Car Care and reviews to maybe get a little, maybe a 911 video in there, edit it up, maybe a Toyota MR2 video, edit up and all that. At least another Ford F-150 Tremor interior first impressions and review. All right, starting on in first, the pressure's on. All right, so we got 0.3, meaning we're 0.3 seconds ahead of the car behind us. Now 0.2, meaning we really need to consider using the middle of the track when turning in. It's a little slower, but it's a lot safer. Even this one, I'd say all the way in. Good pass. That was a slight rub, but I'd say I consider that a clean, quality pass. First was over-rotating, so dumped it immediately into second. Car behind us getting a great advantage on the draft. He's perfectly positioned in exactly where he should be. I need to come take the middle of the track and then hug the apex to not get passed on the inside. His pass was just a little too aggressive, so it did give me the speed I needed to get a pass in, taking a bit more of a proper qualifying lap-like line. All right, second place. Let's try to hold on, braking at the 300 marker. That green Lambo's behind us, hopefully not looking for blood. Oh, and he's not. Very cool. Not looking for blood. Otherwise, he'd have just driven straight into us with no braking whatsoever and tried to send us into the ocean to sleep with the fishes. Okay, we got 1 second lead. We can use the whole track here. No fear of getting punted, except for at the end of a very long straightaway. There, we just got to try to drive that section as kind of straight as possible. Get the steering wheel. Yeah, he's looking for an opening, absolutely. And I gotta watch out for that rain, what do you call it? Not a divot in the road, divots for golf, but the rain trough, no troughs for the pigs and the cows. Anyways, the depression in the decrease in elevation used to storm drain, that's the term. Oh, he's drafting, all right. And he's catching up because of the draft. The draft is strong with this one. Oh, now I think we've got Clark behind us. Wow, he's come up from 6th place. Great job to that Canadian driver. Clark in the very dangerous Beetle. That thing will push around a few cars. Ooh, I left a big opening there. Big opening. I did not do some traditional to be expected type driving there. Threw out some wild cards. Yeah, the GTR, you really got to let go of the brake before you want to turn in. But when you do let go of the brake, you get a little bit of a little pop off the nose, and it's very satisfying. But it is definitely different to drive. And a lot of them, normally we drive mid-engine here at Johnny's JCCR Racing. Not the whole team though. I know Philness seems to have a fondness for the Toyota Supra, and he's very fast with it. Great Tron style livery. All right, 1.3 seconds. We're holding second. We can pull off maybe 4 or 5 more of these top 3 positions this week. Grand Valley might be taking us to the B class, baby. Oh yeah. Can I get a oh yeah? Woo! The legendary Ric Flair. There we go. That's the line. This isn't Forza. We don't have a nice little traced line telling us where to go, but I can got enough laps underneath the belt on this track to say that was the right line. I can hear the cars coming from behind, but I think I still had the safe distance. It certainly does feel great to be able to use the whole track. Gotta let go otherwise of the brake, otherwise we're just not going to get any turning off the GTR. Getting better through there. It's been a very, very sloppy section for me. Quick little braking session there and actually overcorrected. Drove in and had to correct, but I was pretty aggressive with the correcting there because I know those pylons, they should be scary. The consequence of hitting them will definitely cost us a position, but this is good. We've picked up 3.5 seconds of space. You've got a nice little 152.4. Beautiful, this final lap, if we can pull it all off like turn 1, we'll have a quick 152, a low 152. Not so smooth through there, a little clunky. Not so smooth, but we're getting around the track. Very much better through that section. I think we can pull off a 152 again. When we start landing 152s consistently lap after lap, we just have to rinse and repeat and let Grand Valley take us. And the 152 lap times take us to the B class. Yeah. One-way ticket, hopefully not a two-way ticket to quickly come back to the C class with a new week's race. If I get to the B class, I'll play it smart. Night 1, I'll do a more sort of like a track guide. We'll do circuit racing, make some money, build the skill, and not, we'll protect the B rating. We did a thing! 2nd place. Thanks, folks, for being along for this ride. Let's see what I missed in the live. We got a minute 15 here. Oh, yeah. Super Doof has given us a good old, oh, yeah. Woo! Yes. Yes, we did it. We nailed it, folks. Thank you for being along for the ride for that. Well, I think I'll be clipping those, and that will be that'll be worth putting out as 15-minute video for the nights I can't race, because I'll be out in Niagara-on-the-Lake for a wonderful Lincoln event talking about new products coming down the line, new technologies, a bit of everything: design, philosophy, direction of the company. So that'll be really, really cool. Meeting some pretty, very interesting and intelligent, well-spoken people. There we go, folks. Yes. Clean race bonus and a second. That's great. Massimo Miklik. Good day, sir. How do you join? Well, you can, 3 ways you can join. Start by subscribing to the channel. Second, you can join our Sim League Pro. Just ask Super Doofus about that. You can join the JCCR team. Simply download the livery under JCCR for your car or cars. But ask Tom about, you'll have to pass Tom is our gatekeeper, not to hell, but the gatekeeper, kind of like the bouncer to the JCCR team. So he'll give you a heads up on that. And if you want, you can always consider becoming a member of this channel. Not obligatory and no pressure to do so. But if you want to give extra support, that's the way. Tom's done it, and I really appreciate it. So here we go. Squalion, great race, mate. You're lightning fast, but not like the lightning. I lost money on that very quickly. Faster than even Squalion drives. Like, faster than even Lead Pencil drives. And Clark, good job. You made it up from 6th place, but your safety rating went down. So I think you might have been a wee bit pushy on the way up. But I'm happy we got a clean race and picked up a second. And I don't think our safety rating can go any higher at this point because it's not going up, even though we got the clean race bonus. All right. Very nice. 10:30, and I got to be up extra early to drive to the airport tomorrow. So as much as I want to get another race in, and as curious as I am to see if the next race we'd have B racers in with us, I don't want to wake up the wife because she's coming to Toronto to the Lincoln event with me. Well, she won't be at the Lincoln event, but we're already getting a hotel room, so what's the extra ticket? It'd be good to have her along. She'll be coming along as, I guess, my secretary, making sure I make it through the airport, make it to places on time, that I'm well dressed, smell good. So good to have her along with the baby. Folks, thank you so much for the races tonight. I really appreciate it. I'm very blessed to have you along for the ride, having your support, your assistance every week. You guys in the live stream get me faster. You suggest me the cars, the brake balance, generally make me 2 to 7 seconds faster every track, every week. Really appreciate you all. Thank you so much. Tom, you've made like 100% of these live streams. Huge salute, mate. Thank you so much. I really appreciate your help and your friendship. Looking forward to racing together this Saturday. I will be back from the Niagara on the Lake Lincoln event for this Saturday. So folks, stay tuned. Keep doing what you're doing. Stay positive. Remember, I usually am pretty horrible at this, but I'm slowly getting better in any business, sport, hobby, any goal really that you set for yourself. Perseverance is going to beat out lazy raw talent. So don't worry if you don't have raw talent. Like I used to I'll tell you, I finished high school at at the end of high school, I was 115 pounds. At the end of college, I was 130 pounds. That was 2 years later. Some might see that as, well, you're still a skinny little runt. You look ridiculous. Why do you even go to the gym and embarrass yourself? And then, just muscle memory and whatnot, changing around, playing around with my diet, not taking anything whatsoever that's illegal or questionable. And, within a year of university, picked up like 40 pounds of muscle, 10 more pounds the year after that. And working out in the gym kind of taught me that you gotta look at it's important to have big goals in life, but you gotta set them up into little goals that are actually achievable, because you can't just say, well, I'm gonna work out and I'm gonna gain 40 pounds of muscle and I need to do this in 1 week. You'll go for the week and then you'll be like, I'm not getting anywhere. It's over. But that's true of any business or sport you're trying to take on, and it's also true of your your relationships with business partners, your husband or wife, girlfriend, boyfriend. You got to have those little micro goals. Pat yourself on the back for getting through those micro goals, and work towards, invest in yourself and invest in the people around you is what I guess I'm trying to say. And don't give up just because it's embarrassing, because most of my races here have been embarrassing, and I'm doing this on the internet, and I want to be hopefully a bit of an example and say, well, if that goofy guy can get it done and embarrass himself in front of anyone who looks at the video on the internet, then I can definitely do this in my life. And I had a horrible time trying to read. I had a horrible time trying to learn how to ride a bike. I'm dyslexic and I have attention deficit disorder. And through perseverance, I got did my bachelor's degree, picked up a second major. So folks, just don't give up on yourselves. Always try, always persevere through it. Have that discipline and make it back Friday night for when we're back to racing again. And in the meantime, check out Super Doofus's channel, folks. Tom is a great guy. Love your support, mate. Take care. Have a great week, folks. See you back on Friday. Godspeed, everybody. And I wish you all more cars and more power, and hope you get to put the pedal to the metal in a car that you love. And if you want to help us out, check out Johnny's Car Care and Reviews, where we review our real-world cars on long-term bases. And also, we review some cars that we don't own. But hey, one of those cars was a Ford F-150 Lightning, and even though I was like, yeah, this is probably looking like it's going to depreciate now a good amount, I still took it because I wanted to do the videos for the internet that are, really truthful, down to earth, and say, look, these are the problems I'm having with the vehicle. This is what's going really well. Now this is fixed. This is what I like about the technology. I personally don't like this, but some people might love it because of, I try to give a nice, fair, balanced review, even though I work at a dealership. Folks, take care. Have a great week. See you again soon.